So we saw AJ Hinch in Minute Maid Park. We saw some pictures of him, too, talking to Jim Crane and James Click, which was interesting. But the question that I have, if Dusty retires at the end of the year, which is possible, he just got win number 2,000, only has a one-year contract, and AJ Hinch is interested in the job, would you take AJ Hinch back, or have you moved on from your former skipper?
In a heartbeat. I'd take him back in a heartbeat. I said I would have taken him back after the suspension for a year when he hadn't gotten the job with the Tigers yet, and we saw what was going on with Cora and the Red Sox. But even before all that, I was on record as saying, and I was going back and forth with Charlie and others, whoever I was hosting shows with from day to day, and saying, no, I really believe that. And I knew for a fact that Crane was still communicating with AJ Hinch on a regular basis with text messages and calls week to week, day to day, in terms of baseball and other things. And the relationship was still really solid. And it was almost like Mark Davis with the Raiders and the Gruden deal, where they had such a relationship that he didn't want to do it. And if it was his decision to make, he wouldn't have done it, but the league was forcing him to do it. I feel like it was very similar. And I feel like if Dusty's tenure here was short-term or it didn't work out, or for whatever the case may be, that if the opportunity had presented itself that following year, I think Jim Crane would have made AJ Hinch an instant finalist and probably would have hired him. And I would take him back. Look, he's an analytics guy. Everything from the analytics of everything that goes into player personnel moves and decision-making with the lineup to the shift and the way that he does anything. And I know with the shift going away, it's going to be different.
It's going to make his job easier.
He's still an analytics guy. Click's an analytics guy. Click didn't get to pick this manager. If he's going to pick a guy that's not going to make him look bad, that's going to understand his philosophy, it's AJ Hinch.
I would be just fine bringing AJ Hinch back. I would have no reservations if that's the direction that Jim Crane and James Click go with. I like AJ Hinch. I think AJ Hinch is a good manager. He did a fine job with the Astros, obviously, brought them the World Series in 2017. You make a good point. Potentially cost them in 2019. But if Dusty retires at the end of the year and you're looking to bring in a new manager and the direction is AJ Hinch, totally okay with that. I think AJ Hinch, though, would be second on my list. I'm not sure that AJ Hinch would be the number one priority to fill my managerial seat if Dusty Baker does move on. I like Joe Espada. I really want Joe Espada to give a chance to run this organization. And look, I think that they're pretty similar to one another. Espada spent a year with AJ Hinch as well, so he understands the model and the way that Hinch managed. I like Espada's demeanor. I would be totally okay with AJ Hinch, but he would be second on my priority list behind current bench coach Joe Espada. And I want Dusty to retire at the end of the year. I want it for Dusty because I want him. I wish him well in retirement.
He hinted at it too,
he
right?
Did.
He hinted at the
did.
fact he just wanted to get to 2,000, and then obviously knows with the team he has and in the middle of a season that there's still a lot to accomplish. But at his age, having done basically everything that he can do, and when you look at some of those numbers, at a certain point, you're not going to coach 3, 5, 7 years more just to try and catch some of the top 5 numbers in coaching wins. But he's done all he can do short of winning a World Series. If they win a World Series this year, it's already over, I think. But I think that short of winning a World Series and then what he's going to do and evaluate, I think this is it for him one way or the other. Hey, guys, back to the video in just 1 minute. Before that, I want to tell you about Fitz Roofing. Fitz Roofing is dedicated to the loyal people of Houston, Texas. That means if you got a leaky roof or need a full roof replacement on your business or your home, and or you want to get something done around the yard or maybe something around the house, Fitz Roofing can help. All you got to do is check out all their services at fitzroofing.com, and better yet, call them 832-521-3001. They'll come to you and do a free, no-obligation inspection that costs you absolutely nothing and tells you absolutely every way that they can help you fix your problems. Check them out and make sure you go to Fitz Roofing because they have the best warranties in the business, the best ratings, and the best service. They're going to take care of you every step of the way. Fitz Roofing, making a difference one home at a time.
Can I tell you guys this is a genuine concern in Detroit?
Mm-hmm. That AJ Hinch is going to leave for the Astros?
So I don't know that his contract ever fully got out, but it was speculated he has an opt-out somewhere in there. This is a genuine discussion in Detroit. People are afraid that Hinch will choose to leave to come back to Houston.
Really?
Yes, it is a conversation that was going on last week and over the weekend.
The only thing that I think would prevent AJ, well, there's two things. One, I think Joe Espada. I think that the Astros value Joe Espada greatly and want Joe Espada to be the next manager. I also don't think Jim Crane wants to kick the tires again on AJ Hinch. I think that the same reason that Jim Crane was so quick to fire AJ Hinch after the sign stealing scandal is still in the back of his mind, that he doesn't want to recycle all those old thoughts. Like, he wants to put that further and further behind. And if you re-sign AJ Hinch, it doesn't do that. So I don't believe that Crane would even be interested in signing AJ Hinch.
I disagree simply because of the fact that I think the storyline, it's how you spin it. I think the storyline is just like AJ set the table with the quotes while he was in town this last weekend. In the fact that I did wrong, and I'm sorry, and I should have handled it better. Second chances are what America's all about. Second chance, you give AJ Hinch a second chance to do it right this time, and he says, hey, listen, I made mistakes. I want to come back and right the wrongs. I want to be a part of this organization long term, and then just keep echoing what he said this weekend. My family's here. I love it here. I still have friends there. I'd love to be here. It's a great culture, locker room, organization, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? Everybody, all's forgiven. Everybody takes him back.